12 metres from the line, the Raiders, with Horsburgh getting it on. Fogarty, steaming onto a Nicholson, and got there! Matty Nicholson, NRL debut, and he scores within 8 minutes.
Zach Hosking playing in the middle of the field. And for the Harvey Norman replay, just a quick ball there, bad miss. It was a bad miss because it was an early ball from Fogarty. Really didn't take any players out of it defensively. Nicholson just burst through the tackle there of Jack Gojewski and gets it down. They soak up the pressure at the other end of the field, the Canberra Raiders, and first time inside the 20, they come up with a try. What a moment for the Englishman.
There's the Ultra Motion, the Fox Ultra Motion in action tonight. Wonderful pictures as Nicholson.
They want to turn one try into two, and Jack Todd over for his first try of the season, and don't the Dogs love that? Part of Generation Next at Canterbury. Jack Todd it is, scores his first NRL try. Jack Todd, they're all over him, and with good reason.
Cameron Serrallo said, don't go around him at half-time, go through them. The Harvey Norman replay just goes straight through the front door as he gets the chop done. It's actually Todd that goes through and scores that try. Terrific work there from Reid Marnie.
Ilias ball, Egan's over. It's one for Gerringong. Beers are on the house at Mick Cronin's pub.
I like this. Ilias over from the right edge. And a beautiful short ball. I'm not sure there's a player on the field that deserves one more than Dylan Egan. 39 tackles. His work rate has been absolutely enormous. He started on the edge, he's been in the middle.
Yes. Tino, Weaver, nice play. Beautiful hands, Kelly. Now Fitzgibbon. He's got his first in the NRL. It's a great moment for this winger. He's quite a story.
And it is a great story. And he's a great finisher, Fitzgibbon. We saw some nice moments in the pre-season challenge. But his first NRL try is a beauty.
Yeah.
And I watched him play for North Sydney at Belmore Oval a season or two ago and thought, well, how the hell has this bloke not played more NRL?
Dummy half, a little wrestle from the dummy half. He loses his headgear. It would have been a triple movement had he scored. Now they'll go again at a dummy half, and Tuivasa-Vati's got it down. The big front rower, the man who just killed off Jack Bird, has now got his first 4-pointer in the NRL.
And then the headgear's on the ground. Well, oh no, that didn't distract him that much, but I tell you what, it might have been enough to make Tuivasa go, I'm having a crack at that.
Well, he'll have nightmares about this young fella, Jack Bird.
Riley Smith having a go, the headgear falls off. Why would Jack Bird want to move the headgear?
But he does move it and then moves to his right, which creates the space for Tuivasa to go straight through.
Well, it just invited Tuivasa to have a crack, didn't it?
They've got some defending to do here. The whole back line is on the left here of this scrum. And now they break to the short side, little outside. Toya is going to score! It's shades of Barber in the 2016 Grand Final. Such simplicity, but such beauty. And the Roosters out of nowhere get their second.
What a superb scrum move. This is very sneaky from the Roosters. Look at this. Back on the inside. There's no one home, Dan.
McLean and Jenkins left a big hole wide open.
And Edward split right as well. This is a nice little inside pass here from Connor Watson. Just opens up through the middle for Toya, and away he goes.
He seems such a good player, Robert Toya. In the limited time we've seen him, he was never going to be stopped once he got a little bit of space.
Well,
that's the sort of play, Kev, I guess you can only use once a season.
Yeah, well, they'll all be onto it now, but they've been doing that scrum play for, well, the best part of opening 6 weeks.
Duncan moving it on to Sullivan on the outside for White and got rid of Meany and try saver. Slips out. How does the referee see this? Because Bentley Harpe picks up the scraps. Was it knocked out by Melbourne?
No try.
No.
We're looking at the possibility here of Melbourne playing at the ball, knocking it out. If that's the case, play the advantage. I do have a grounding by South after the ball comes out.
Why does he go no try then? Is it a try? I think it's clearly knocked out here by Katoa.
Exactly knows what he's doing. This is a try. It's a try.
So it's not a loose carry by Whiten. It's just knocked out by Katoa, knocked backwards by Melbourne and not knocked by South Sydney. And it's a curious way for Bentley Harpe to score his first try in the NRL, and South Sydney lead this game.
Wow. Didn't see this coming.
Harvey Norman replay, left side of the field again. Sullivan, nice little play. Whiten really bumps off his opposite number there. Good stuff.
12, back in field for Stewart. There we go. He'll score. He runs hard. The Dragons are alive and kicking.
There is something about this young man. What a player he's going to be. Just shows the ball on the outside. Terrific run. Great speed to get through the tackle of Fanua Bolle, crash over and give the Dragons just a sniff.
Last tackle, Parramatta. Do they do something? Moses' side, it is. Moses, and then Sam Ruddy for Parramatta. What a moment. Jordan Sam Ruddy scores for the Eels. His first try in the NRL.
Moses digs into the line, runs enough. Some poor defence there from Sharp. But they're just hanging on, aren't they? Just couldn't get back that time, Newcastle, after that long-range break from the Parramatta side in the middle of the field. Sam Rami gets over the try, one-on-one, hard to stop there.
This is Kenny, right side, Schneider, shot ball good. And Penrith are on the board. And Harrison Hassett, only a few minutes into his first grade career, with his third touch of the ball, has scored for Penrith. What a moment for the kid.
Well, that's exactly what Newcastle did in the first half. When we saw the three-try hero score, Lucas, this time it's Hassett that just comes on for the Panthers. That's the way to run onto the football. The Harvey Norman replay. That's the way to run, boys. Straight onto the ball, inside shoulder, at speed. Newcastle did it so well in the first half, and Hassett gets a try.
Oh, it's one of the joys of our job that we get to see these sorts of moments.
Zandon Smith putting it up.
Here comes Tupou.
This time it's Hidoti. Tupou bats it back. He's found Radley. Radley close. That gets it on. The kid's done it on debut. The Vars go berserk. Xavier Va'a scores. He just entered the game. Well, Joas Papali last night. And this youngster goes even better. He scores almost immediately.
Just watch his work here through the middle. He's got every right there to just catch his breath for a moment. Tupou bats it back. Radley's there. He's been brilliant. The pass from Radley, brilliant. But the big fella looming in front of the family. This will look superb. Radley, the pass around the body in front of Dr. Clay. He couldn't believe his luck. Try confirm the young fella. Can you believe it, Dan? Xavier Va'a.
Another great story. Ah, look at that. Isn't this beautiful?
Cook. Here he goes. Pasifiki Tonga, it's on the ground. It's his first try in the NRL. Oh, they've got one on their hands here, the Dragons.
He just kept the 20-year-old onto the ball. The Harvey Norman replay, he just wanted a little bit more.
Well, I think there's a star here. Not only big, but athletic. Seen some of his movements with the ball.
Now Fletcher Hardy sprinting through. He takes the catch. He falls over and gets up and crawls there.
Oh, the flying mullet from Warren. Shot out of a cannon. The kick looked way too long, but this young man, Fletcher Hunt, Jesus, a night for the Fletchers. Similar hair. But have a look at this. Harvey Norman replay. Where's he come from? And it's the only one that gets down there. He doesn't give up on the chase. I think the other players realise, but look at him, changes gear and goes up, gets down, and then gets back up, and look at that mullet. They're back the Knights.
Yeah, they are back in a big way, aren't they? And all through just effort and a bit of smarts. Up in the commentary box, when that kick went up, we thought, well, there's not much doing here. But Fletcher Hunt, the last 10 metres.
Crossland effective there and the tackle. Docker Clay to Tedesco, pops the ball away, gives it to Fiketti, striding out, runs to Hunt, runs past him, still going. Celesi Fiketti, looking like Brad Fittler.
Wow, Fiketti, what a pass there from Tedesco.
What a step he put on as he came towards the fullback. It has flared up here, but he's the player who's taken over on the edge for Egan Butcher. And it looks like he scored the first try of his NRL career to keep the Roosters alive in this game.
Newcastle might have thought that they held him up for Harvey Norman here. Fiketti goes straight through. Look at the speed, footwork, keeps his feet. There's the tackle. Yes, gets it down. Well done.
Oh, Freddie. Eat your heart out watching this. Look at this again.
Can't he run?
Speed there for the front rower and then off the left foot. If that's not Brad Fittler on Anzac Day at the Sydney Football Stadium, I've never seen it.
Yeah, and especially from a big front rower like that. Look at the speed and the power, the footwork, off the left foot. Beats him hands up there that time. And Fletcher Hunt gets over the line. He did his best to try and hold him up, but too strong. Gets the ball down. What a try.
Which way do they go? Starling, they go to the left. Fogarty to Chris. Chris to flick pass on debut. Yes, Jenny. Jed Stewart scores on debut. Welcome to the NRL, son of Ricky.
So watch this. He had a lot to do. Plenty of defenders in front of him. Didn't have the numbers. He just stood them up. Beautiful flick pass. Get it down, Jed. Get it down. Get it down. Keep your feet in. All good. Oh,
how's that left arm?
Try confirmed.
Where's Dad?
Try confirmed. We're all good.
Where's Dad? I'm tipping there might be some tears.
Anytime try scorer.
15 to go, trailing by 16, but it's not over. McEwen over the line, and they've got their second, the Knights.
Yeah, young powerhouse.
It's his first try in the big time, Jermaine McEwen.
Yeah, Penrith Jr. has come up the freeway to Newcastle. His big raps on him, and just says, dummy, I'm going myself. And just sees the power. Look at the power in the legs. Gets over.
Well, 14 minutes to go. 2 converted tries. The difference. It's not beyond the Knights. And the Raiders want to be careful here.
Dragons through, Cook at full speed. Back to Gutherson. Almost loses the shorts. Kept it going. Dragons in the corner. And Lawson right on cue. Number 22. It's not bingo, folks. It's not the Powerball. It's the first try scorer. Number 22, Nathan Lawson, after a scintillating break from Damien Cook.
Have a look at the lazy markers there. They went both the same side. Straight away, Cook sums it up, gets the ball to Gutherson. I would have said that he would have scored only a few years ago. Gets the ball on the outside to King Tonga. And Nathan Lawson scores the opening try. What a start here from the Dragons. Beautiful run there from Cook, in and behind the ruck. A little bit of footwork. There's Gutherson. Gets the ball on the outside. A lot of arm grabs going on there. King Tonga gets the ball. Gets it on the outside to Lawson. That kid can't believe he's like first set. Comes on after we see an injury. The Harvey Norman replay shows him scoring off the first set.
Hunt dropping back, goes to Reynolds. Flat pass there, play on's the call. Tolte gets it down. Ben Tolte in game number 2 of his NRL career. He smells pretty good, and his teammates swamp him.
Back to Walsh and Ezra Mam, and the skipper and halfback says no more, let's play a flat pass. Tolte on the outside, picks on David Fafita, and puts a beautiful pass on the chest of Tolte inside Campbell. And in his second game, scores his first try. Good play from the Broncos halfback.
30 seconds on the clock. Are they thinking extra points? Hayward, Burton, they're not at the moment. Tracy, on to Tuala. He's got Rinakama there. He may have given him a little head start, but Rinakama, first game in first grade. I don't want to take away from his moment. Jethro Rinakama becomes a try scorer in the NRL.
And the man with the name Jethro Rinakama. Remember that one. Boy, he's shown some great signs on debut. And as bumpy as it's been for the Bulldogs in the opening half, they're going to lead at half-time. The kick to come and a chance to get it to 12 points to 8.
7.5 to go. Another set restart. The poor old Eels haven't had one today. The Raiders had more than a handful. Horsburgh with it. He offloaded! Corey Horsburgh got it to Owen Paddy to score. He may not have scored a try this year, Corey Horsburgh, but he's just given Owen Paddy his first in the NRL.
Owen Paddy out of dummy half, found a Horsburgh. Got on the outside of Smith, got the right arm free, and did well to control it to the ground, gets it down. And Owen Paddy, try confirmed.
Home points here would be critical to the match. Hines, out it comes. Viola shows confidence on debut. Viola has gone over for the Sharks. He's got to move, and he's busted a move right there to score a try. What a moment.
Boy, what a moment from Viola. Look at this. This is special. McInnes ball playing. Hines early ball there. And then just bang, the little shimmy on Butcher. Shrugs him off, gets through the tackle of Walker. On debut, Chris Viola. What a moment from the young fella. Oh, that's class.
That is silky, boys. What a move.
He'll play it there. Sasungi feeds it back. Fogarty stabs one towards the uprights. Martin is there. So was Horsburgh. Martin ends up with it. In game number 4, the boy from the South Coast, Noah Martin, scores his first try in the NRL.
Yes, and right on the spot. Noah Martin, look at the chase come through here. Noah Martin right on the spot there, along with Horsburgh. He gets the spoils. What a passage of play there from the Canberra Raiders. All started by Tarpany through the middle of the ruck.
Contest there, Horsburgh thereabouts. Falls for Noah Martin. Katoa, Nikorima goes wide. Here's the space. It is a chance for Nafahu to plant it down and score. His first try in the NRL comes at the end of one of the more amazing periods we've seen in rugby league for a long, long time.
Since round 12, the Dolphins, with some of the ball players and the speed and the class on the edges, have just gone to work. That is absolutely brilliant. Katoa, Nikorima, the pass was beautiful. And the moment this young star, Nafahu, locks the ball in the right hand, that is a brilliant finish.
Cronulla on their heels here. King Tongia breaks them open. Then links up with Gutherson. Gutherson keeps it going. It's a try on debut. On debut. This youngster, this Gerringong Lion, Hayden Buchanan is in.
Nice work from the Dragons, Block.
Well, that's been the way that they're going all day, isn't it? That left-hand side, straight through, you're right. He had to get on his bike, Gutherson, for the support. King Tongia goes straight through. Had to slow down. He did it so well. The offload. I think he could have scored himself there, Gutherson. Not a greedy man. Gives it to Buchanan on debut. The young fella pushes up, goes over. How good's that from the Dragons? Just on the stroke of half-time.
Yeah, those tries, they're killer tries, aren't they?
Fisher Harris with the ball. Westpac red zone stats tonight. The Warriors with their 16th tackle there inside the 20. Here's Healy, not his best. He got a second kick. He almost got there. He's saying he did. This kid's got something. He comes straight into the match off the back of a big performance last week. Samuel Healy.
Grubber caught the feet of Jacob Preston. He soccers the ball through, and as long as he's got his hand to it before the Bulldogs player, the Bulldogs defender. Great trap by Preston, but then Healy was good enough to get it past him again and scores it. No doubt about that. Jacob Carraz wasn't there at all.
First career try, Brady.
There is some luck, but you make your own luck. And Sam Healy did that just then.
Now Verrills wasn't going to run it. Post, he set it up. There's another bloke getting his first try.
Yeah.
Josh Paxton goes over underneath the crossbar. Craig Fitzgibbon will not be happy. Cronulla now guilty of clocking off on their goal line there.
Yeah. A nice line that he ran into space, and he finds it over the try line. Well done to the young fella.
Well, he's 26, Kevy. 26 getting his chance in the NRL.
Yeah.
And today was his first time in the starting side. And like Jesse Colquhoun, welcome to the NRL Try Scorers Club.
Yeah.
Back to back for a large chunk of the year. It was a matter of who was available, throwing them into a position that suited them more so with going with a particular preference in the halves. Fletcher now busts through. He sells a dummy. The big forward's going to go over and outpace them.
Oh, that's a good try. Harvey Norman replay. The ball goes out wide to their left. It comes back through the middle. And it's Tallis Duncan watching fish across. All of a sudden, you get a player turns in. And there's a bit of space to run through. That's a great effort by the big man.
Without doubt, the best back rower with a surname like Fletcher who's ever played for the Bunnies. Sorry, Bears.
Probably the most sensible. Yes, Brad?
Yeah, just a reaction of the Souths bench when Thomas Fletcher scored the try. Very well liked, they tell me. Most likely not the smartest tool in the shed, but one of the best tools. But the best tool.
That's a come-up.
It's the best tool. Doesn't matter if you're smart or not.
Saves a try. Pompey back to Boyd. Boyd with Martin. And the pass almost through was Halasima.
Great tackle, Brimson.
Now Martin. Shot. Oh, yes, that'll get him a try. He's got his first in first grade. Eddie Eremia Tawava has had plenty of touches. And now it's a touch in the Rugby League's Garden of Eden to score a try.
Halasima threatened to score, but it was Eremia Tawava who gets his first try in the top grade. Just charging in between a couple of Titans defenders there.
That's
and
nice
all that pressure results in another 4-pointer for the Warriors. 5
from the line. Brayley. Caught. He'd love to get one against his brother's team. He offloads. And Elijah Salisa Lomoana has a first grade try. Well, he'll remember that one. His first ever.
It was a run from Arthur, but the lead-up work from Dane Gagai was bouncing around left, right, and centre, and it just put the Sharks' defence all over the place. When Brayley came out to the left-hand side, the marker stopped, the other side of the fence gave up, and the offload came back through here. The Newcastle Knights.
Good catch, Asako. Ball loose through the legs. My goodness, that's a bit embarrassing. And the Raiders
Michael Asamoah is given a little first try in first grade, wrapped up with a red Dolphins ribbon around it.
The Raiders put a reasonable set in, but on the Harvey Norman replay, the pass on the inside was a shocker and just couldn't be cleaned up. And Michael Asamoah on debut gets the ball, and it's out in front of Trey Fuller. It nutmegs to Vita Nafahu, and Asamoah picks the ball up and scores his first NRL try. And can this be the turnaround? Can things start to go the Raiders' way? They only had 10 sets of the ball in the first half. They had no field position. That just might get them moving the right way.
Regather. Maybe another one for Corey today.
Charging through, Joe Roddy. He has his moments. As I said, generation after generation of rugby league talent in the family from Tumut. That is a brilliant moment, shot out of a cannon.
And Joe Roddy hitting the space there, burst through a couple of tackles. Soren Keeley, Tau for another one of them. The Dolphins players missing Joe Roddy as he runs his first try in. Michael Asamoah scoring his first try this afternoon. Nice flat ball there from Trey Mooney. Plenty of Raiders lining up out the back, and Trey Mooney hits his forwards.
That is the biggest moment of this young man's life.
Lined up to the left here.
Riley Smith goes himself.
Oh my God.
Well, that was seamless.
Oh my gosh.
He's a bundle of energy, this kid, Riley Smith. He's been one of the real finds of the season. And I think he's going to be a Parramatta Reel for a long, long time. He's a real competitive little fella. Very fit, strong, fearless. And here on the Isuzu D-Max replay, he just finds some sleepy marker defenders who are on their heels on their own line. They don't take a notice of the man with the ball. And he muscles his way over. And right at the moment, this is representative of what we've seen in the first little period of the game. Parramatta's just too hard at the ball. Newcastle don't want the collisions. It's his first try in the NRL. It's a nice moment.
Oh, hang on. Gray's gone through them. Jai Gray with another sensational run. He's linked up with Ashton Ward, and he has burnt them from on his own side of halfway. The little white headgear, he's away again.
The Energizer Bunny, look at him. Jai Gray, he nods the head. He says, yep, let's go, boys. We're in this contest. Sometimes it just takes a bit of individual brilliance. Harvey Norman replay. Get the ball to the strike players. Not really much happening here. A great fend. He shows great strength, and all the little legs go. Little dummy. And then Ashton Ward. Hasn't he had a great back half of the season?
We're about 5 minutes from Randwick Racecourse. These two could be riding tomorrow. Have a look at him, J-Mac, in the white headgear. Look at the balance here. He gets through, shows his strength, but look at the balance to stay on his feet.
Strong hips.
Strong.
Oh, he's a player.
And then comes back on the inside. Now, did he play junior Queensland, under 17s and 19s, Bill?
Yep.
Twelve the decoy. Seyfarth passes Latu Fayinu. Here's Samuela Fayinu. Out it goes! Try on debut! Hamasi Makasini! The 18-year-old is an NRL try scorer, and it only took 13 and a half minutes. Oh, look at these scenes.
And watch it unfold. Harvey Norman replay. Great ball there to Samuela, and then through a couple of sets of hands out to Makasini to score the Tigers' second try, and it was the Fainu brothers combining Latu and Samuela that saw it come out to Jerome Luai, and then Makasini on debut. Doesn't get much better, Dan.
No, you can see the joy. I love this kid. I love this kid. There was quite the celebration apparently when Benji Marshall told them that he would play this game. The spot opened up. Jarrell Skelton, unfortunately, KO'd last week when he tried to go all in on Ethan Strange. And Makasini's had a week to think about this moment, and the moment has happened.